We're back with Ron, and Ron, we are really rolling today. So we have another question, and that question is, Ron, how will the SKRs in South Africa be redeemed? And can you explain the overall process of how it will happen?
Well, the answer to the yes, and I can do that. The SKRs in South Africa will be redeemed just the same way as it will be in Timbuktu, in Calcutta, India, somewhere in all over the world. It will happen the same way as it's going to happen here in Salt Lake City with me. Okay, can you explain the overall process of how it will happen? Yes, I can do that. Your SKR is a safekeeping receipt. I have the bonds in my possession. I can sit there and look at them right now. Those bonds are in my possession. And they are used to as safekeeping and I issue safekeeping receipts for the things that I have, because there they are. And I'm just simply saying to you, I am keeping safe the bonds that I'm issuing with this SKR. Now you'll take the SKR and with any other bonds that you have and go to your redemption appointment, and the Alliance has said, yes, we will do that. It's a wonderful way to solve a problem. The problem that we were solving with the use of the SKRs is because people over in Philippines, it costs $190 to send 100 T notes. You might have 50 or 100, and you have them in a little package. It costs $190 to send them over there. And I was thinking, well, if we send a larger package and it costs $200 or $300, and then they could start spreading it out over there. Well, there's some countries just do not have a postal system. And if it is, it's carried on by people or people that run it who steal things. Emails are different. We can send you a safekeeping receipt in the email anywhere in the world that you have an email address, and have access to the internet. That solved all of the problems. We haven't paid a nickel for that, for SKRs, and you people are not having to pay because we have had donations that will cover us, and we're only probably maybe, I'm hearing 20 to 30% of the value that we have sent out in SKRs, of the total value that we've sent out in the SKRs to this point. So the SKRs are, now, what about you go, well, you got to go to the appointment. Yeah. The trick there is getting your appointment, because a lot of people are asking for SKRs that might not be the kind of people who love one society. They just came here to get SKRs. I don't care about that, because they won't be using them, because they're not going to get an appointment, because the appointments are given out by the Alliance. And if they're not aligned with the Alliance, vetted, I'll say it that way, by the Alliance to receive your redemption appointment, then you won't get one. SKRs will be useless for them. Put them in a frame, put them up on the wall. You'd probably be able to do that anyway. You just ask your appointment that you get to keep it, then that'd be fine. I don't think they care at all. What would they do? What do they do with the SKR? Who's going to redeem them? Those are the things. We've got security behind us. And nobody's going around the security. Absolutely no one. If you're not a humanitarian, you will not be getting redemption funds, period. Exclamation point, end of discussion. Go over there and cry. Don't cry in my office. The problem is people don't think that they have to do something. They are chosen in their hearts as they think, and that's where it comes from. But if it doesn't get to the mind and you start doing the things that are necessary, then you might not be the ones that get chosen. You might be called, but that's why you don't get chosen, because you don't do the things you're supposed to do. If you don't do those things, how is God going to have faith and trust in your ability to do what you say you're going to do when you have nothing to prove in your life that that's the case? Now, I'm not saying I shouldn't say nothing. I'm just saying they weigh it out. And if you're not up to speed, then you don't get, as a vetted humanitarian, you don't get vetted as a humanitarian so that you can get your funds. It's a tough thing. Okay, so the SKRs in South Africa will be redeemed by your appointment with the Alliance. Period. You have to get the Alliance to give you an appointment, and then you can start using your SKRs. How do you convince them? Just do the things that you're supposed to do. Quit kicking the dog or swearing at your wife, spanking your children with anger. No, those are the kinds of things that just are not part of society when we get into the fifth dimension. So moving on up into the fifth dimension, you'll be left behind. Solar was to it. Left behind in a loving way, because God is your Father. But it's also very strict. You'll get what you're supposed to get. I hope that helps. Let's move on to our last question then, Don.
Absolutely, Ron. We will do it, and we'll be right back.